Dr. Johnson was the founder and chief executive of a private student loan company, Reunion Student Loan Financing Corporation, before assuming his official role with the department. Is that correct?
That probably is correct.
Yes, it is.
Let me just interject. And
I would like to continue.
And I would like to make clear that
we'll give you some time. I will get to it. Thank you so much.
The individual you have referred to is not part of the acquisition or procurement team.
This is what happens when a political ambush completely backfires, and the attacker ends up face-planting in front of the whole country. Ilhan Omar walked into that hearing loaded for bear, ready to paint Betsy DeVos as corrupt, compromised, secretly funneling billions to her cronies. But there's an old political proverb: when you swing for the king, you better not miss. And folks, she missed badly. What happened next had Congress laughing, the narrative collapsing in real time, and the left's talking points left in smoking ruins. If you live for these moments, where facts bulldoze political theater, and the swamp gets exposed, hit subscribe right now. This is exactly the kind of savage takedown we break down. No spin, no mercy.
Chairman, Madam Secretary, countless news sources have reported on the conflict of interest that run rampant through your top aides, especially those advising you on higher ed and loan servicing. When responding to questions about these conflicts, you have failed to adequately convince Congress and the American people that these conflicts do not interfere with the billions of taxpayer dollars flowing from education to corporate interest. Today, I would like to better understand your decisions for selecting aides and ensuring that their conflicts do not harm taxpayers. Last May, 4 of my colleagues on this committee sent your General Counsel a request for information about conflict of interest surrounding your $2 billion next-gen loan servicing solicitation. Given that this solicitation is given, I would like some information about the team that's leading it. Does Dr. A. Wade Johnson, is he the one that's spearheading this solicitation?
Dr. Johnson is head of the Next Gen Initiative.
All right. According to New York Times investigation, Dr. Johnson was the founder and chief executive of a private student loan company, Reunion Student Loan Financing Corporation, before assuming his official role with the department. Is that correct?
That probably is correct.
Yes, it is.
Let me just interject. And
I would like to continue.
And I would like to make clear that
we'll give you some time. I will get to it. Thank you so much. Dr. Johnson was also the executive at the two financial services companies, First Data Corporation and TSYS. Additionally, Dr. Johnson was hired at least one other TSYS veteran, Mr. Patrick Fox. Have any of Dr. Johnson's previous employers bid on elements of next-gen solicitation?
Congresswoman, all of my staff, all of my team at the Department of Education and Federal Student Aid has gone through their ethics process, has taken and takes their ethics obligations very seriously. We don't have conflicts, and we will not be conflicted. We have continued to have a robust screening process, and can stand and be very resolute about that.
So given that there is about $2 billion per year in taxpayer dollars flowing through this program, will you commit to releasing communication between the procurement team and any of Dr. Johnson's former employees?
So all of the procurement is walled off from the rest.
That would just be yes or no. Would you be committed to releasing any communication between Dr. Johnson and his employees?
Not to releasing internal communication, but the procurement team is walled off from the rest of the team, and the procurement process is very definitely prescribed as to how it has to happen.
That has not clearly answered my question. The federal acquisition regulations have a section on conflict of interest. It states, the general rule is to avoid strictly any conflict of interest or even the appearance of conflict of interest in government contract relations. While many federal laws and regulations place restrictions on actions of government personnel, their official conduct must, in addition, be such that they would not have no reluctance to make a full public disclosure of their actions. You seem to have reluctance to make a full public disclosure of the actions of the head of the department's largest single procurement team, despite there being obvious appearance of conflict of interest. How is your denial to release communication in line with extremely high conflict of interest standards that's required by federal law?
The individual you have referred to is not part of the acquisition or procurement team.
Okay. But we need the communication that is happening between.
Here's what went down, straight fire. Ilhan Omar tried to build this dramatic gotcha case around a supposed conflict of interest involving Dr. Wayne Johnson and a massive $2 billion student loan servicing contract. She reads his resume like it's an indictment. Private sector experience, financial companies, industry background, implying that, get this, being qualified was somehow suspicious. Think about that for a second. In Washington, they whine nonstop when bureaucrats don't understand the real world. Then when someone actually has real-world experience, suddenly that's the scandal. Come on, that's not oversight, that's performance art. DeVos didn't flinch. She stayed calm, measured, ice-cold professional, kept repeating one killer point. Everyone goes through ethics screening. Procurement is walled off. There are strict procedures in place. She didn't get emotional. She didn't get defensive. She stuck to process and facts, and let the truth do the talking. Omar kept pushing for internal communications, trying to create this aura of secrecy and corruption. And then came the moment that flipped everything on its head. DeVos stated it plainly, calmly, devastatingly. The individual you're referring to is not part of the acquisition or procurement team. Boom. That's it. The entire accusation, built on the assumption that this guy could steer contracts, collapsed because he wasn't even on the damn team handling contracts. You could almost feel the air leave the room. The gotcha evaporated. The narrative died right there on the floor. Here's the broader lesson conservatives keep proving. In politics, perception is often manufactured. Repeat conflict of interest enough times, and some people will believe it even without a shred of proof. But facts still matter. Structure still matters. Process still matters. And when you try to engineer a viral gotcha moment without solid ground beneath you, sometimes you end up exposing your own narrative instead. Ilhan Omar swung hard for the fences and struck out spectacularly. DeVos didn't even break a sweat. She just let the truth destroy the attack. This is why the left panics when strong, fact-based conservatives step up. They can't handle when the script gets flipped and their theater gets shredded. If you believe in holding politicians accountable, all of them, but doing it with facts instead of theatrics, smash subscribe right now. We're gonna keep breaking these epic goons down exactly like this, raw, unfiltered. No apologies. Drop in the comments. Was this the savage takedown of the year? Or just another day of Democrats shooting themselves in the foot? Like if you're with us. Subscribe if you're ready for more moments where the left gets left speechless. Turn on notifications. We got more heat coming. This is how conservatives win. Stay locked in.